Hello again. I thought since it was such a nice sunny day I would do another video out here in the open, and I've brought my A100 here just because it needs running in, so I'm doing that now. But I thought for this video, since it got me thinking, I've got a classic, I've got a bike in the house that could be a classic. What nowadays designates as a modern classic? So what bikes are now going to be a classic in 30 years time? Now, if you go back to the 70s, and if you think back then, bikes that are classics from then are bikes that either got run into the ground and basically people bought them and either sold them on cheap or chucked them on the rubbish heap. So to AP50s, Fizzies, A100s, bikes that basically at the time didn't look like a classic, but when the years went on became one. Another group is the ones that made technological advances and like feats of engineering that weren't seen on bikes before, like GT750, CB750, Z1s, all the bikes that made a milestone. So with that in mind, what would you think would be a classic in 30 years from now, like the bikes we've got now? Now, this is my opinion. Like I say, you're more than welcome to put comments. Actually, I am asking you to put comments in the bottom about what yours are, but I shall get on to mine now. Like, I think, just personally, that the 500 twins are going to be one bike that's going to be a classic in the future, just because they're getting rarer. They're a bike that people do ride and then basically get rid of for cheap, or put them into a scrapyard or break them up. And they're just, like, I've got one, so I might be a bit biased, but I have heard other people saying that it's getting that way to the point where they are going to be a classic. Another one is the Bandits. Those are ones like people come off the licenses, the 125 licenses, and go onto a Bandit. It's either that type of bike and getting restricted, so the bike that get ridden hard, and normally they sell them on, get a faster bike, and then no doubt 30 years down the line they'll regret selling it and want another one and pay high prices for them. And those are the category of bikes of ones that get used and get thrown away or sold on cheap. Now, technological advances, that's a different kettle of fish nowadays, because there's that much technology going into every bike now. Every bike's got its own little unique feature that you can't really separate. From the 90s, like all the old 90s two-strokes, I would say would be going in, like even the two, like the Aprilia RS250 and RS125, which I can see being a real classic in the future. But four-strokes, they're a bit more, like, I can see the Suzuki TL, whoops, so the Suzuki TL 1000 being the one, because they're getting rarer now. I've heard they don't handle too well from certain people, and I've heard they're a bit of a dog, but I like twins, so it might be me being biased again, but I can see that bike being one classic, as in, not really technological feat, just as being different. I don't know why, to me it's different to all these, well, different to what Suzuki normally did, as in very, very four-cylinder thous, but yeah. Except other than that, I'm trying to think, the BMW RR1000, now that's one I can see being a real one, because one, it's expensive, but also it's not as common as a lot of other super bikes out there, not by far. And I think that class of super bike's going to be a classic as well, so the Ducati 1198 and stuff like that are going to be the same. And then you go back to the ones that are cheap and people throw away, it's such a hard topic once you think about this. Like I say, this is the first time I've tried to do this video, so it's a bit of a dry run for me. So I'm kind of catching myself out myself, but anyway. Well, I've given me thoughts. I'll tell you what, I've given me thoughts. I want yous to comment in the videos below about what bikes you think are going to be modern classics in 30 years time. Or even better than that, give you top 5 or top whatever. And like I say, I'll try and give my opinion on them. I'll try and answer most of the comments back I get, if they're sensible. And we'll see from there. But I just think it's a very interesting topic to think about, because I can bet you how many people now are kicking themselves because they didn't get that two fizzies, or kept their fizzy until now to sell it on or show it in shows, or the GT 750s and so on and so forth. What now? What bikes would we be seeing 30 years down the time we should have got now and actually sold on or kept for show bikes? I think it's something worth thinking about, I really do. And also just keeping bikes on the road full stop is just a nice thing, but that might be just me. But anyway, I shall let yous get on and debate that underneath the comments below. Like the video if you like it, subscribe, because like I say, there's plenty of these type of videos on my channel and stuff, so have a look around. And since it's such a nice day, I am going to take my 100 out and run it in a bit more. And I shall see yous all, ride safe like I say all the time, with this nice weather we have. Hopefully it keeps like this, but yeah, so I shall see yous later.